Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about patterning and various rules and laws which have been implemented, and also how they are organized by our central government. You might have come across many schedule laws in forensic pharmacy or jurisprudence when you have studied, and these things we are just studying about Drug and Cosmetic Act, how it is implemented with various herbal formulations and herbal system of our indigenous traditional practice of medicine also we are discussing today. So anyhow, whenever you get time, you try to spend some time in my lectures which is available in YouTube if possible. And as I told, today we are going to have a discussion about patterning. Already you have written your sessional exams. I have seen some of the short notes how you explained, but sometimes you have to be ready for essay question also. Patterning and regulatory requirements of natural products. So you have to read again and again, or you have to listen some of the words. By the lecture we can listening, and then you can go for expressing your answer without any difficulty. That's what I want to give you some advice. It comes in practice. How a student is trying to listen to the lecture and how to express his view in the answer paper. So here there are many patent and also many natural products are getting patent for our traditional practitioners, and India is also having patent for various herbs. So what do you mean by patent? Patent refers to an exclusive right which is granted to an inventor. An inventor, the person who has been granted patent, is called patentee or patentee, you can say patentee. The patent is a legal document that gives the patent holder exclusive right to implement described invention commercially. The word patent is a Latin term, patri, which means to lay open or open letter. A patent is a form of intellectual property. It gives its owner, who have invented, owner, the right to exclude others from making, exclude the others, or to prevent others from making what he has invented, using, selling and importing to other country, or importing or exporting an invention for a limited period of time. To take, importing, not exporting. What I am telling is importing from, or taking his rights, or taking his products detail, or taking his method. These all things can be excluded. That means others from making, using, selling and importing any one I have invented. If I am the right, if I have applied for patent, I am the inventor, I am the owner who is the first identified invention from a limited period, that means of time, usually 20 years he can get if he apply for patent. If an invention is patent, he has applied and he has got a patent, it implies that no other person can commercially benefit from making, using, selling or distributing it. So that is what the important fact of a patent. Understand? So this can be easily written by a student once you read. Otherwise, you will only one line will come. If you want to write a paragraph or something, so you have to know about, you should know what all the things making, using, selling, importing of an invention were made by an inventor. It will be prevented by means of patent. Like that, when you are going on reading, you will get many points to write in your answer paper. Definition. And a patent is an exclusive monopoly granted by a government to an inventor over his invention for a limited period of time. For what? For what? What is the significance? What is the benefit? See, the purpose of this system, to give a patent to an inventor, what is that? Is to encourage the inventions by promoting their protection. And invention so as to contribute to developed industries, which in turn provides better utility to the society. So once you give protection, once you give the rights, once you give the patent rights, once they are having the monopoly rights, what will happen? It will go on developing their knowledge and give the improvement in their product. Researchers can be easily, they may be concentrate on finding out new inventions by means of this encouragement which has been given by means of patenting them. That is the main purpose, that is the main significance of why we have brought this patent. US office withdraws the patent of Indian herb. The picture which I shown is turmeric, not turmeric, curcuma longa or curcuma longa, turmeric. This turmeric was long back, our ancestors in India, especially in South India. If you see in Erode and Tamil Nadu, there are even on over Kaveri, banks of Kaveri, you can have a big cultivation of turmeric, and people used to use this turmeric for antiseptic, and our females traditionally they used to apply in their face and in their body, and it has many antibacterial activity, and also it has even skin care, many properties, and it has been identified long back, and it is proved by India. But America, when they identified by an university its antibacterial activity, they asked for patent. And they provided also. Then India were asking with them to withdraw that. we are having the rights to have the patent for this curcuma longa, turmeric. India has forced the US Patent and Trademark Office to revoke, take back a contentious patent it granted 2 years ago to researcher in United States on the use of powder turmeric for wound healing. But we are using, our ancestors are using very long back. It's not now. It's more than 2,000 years back. We have traditionally, we are using this turmeric. We have Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani. We have traditionally, there are many systems of medicine which they are following. So, that made India to question US. Not only this, there are many, even for neem also. We have many. We are started to ask for them, why you are giving patent? For already we have existing, we are already found out in India. So there is limitations were there for patenting, and you should know what all the product, how it can be patented, whether there is any history for this plant or any history for the indigenous usage of the plant or any history for the traditional medicinal practitioners. These all should be identified before giving a patent for any type of invention in herbs. Intellectual property rights. What do you mean by IPR? Intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights is defined as the exclusive right of the inventor for the protection of his or her intellectual property, thus excluding others from making, copying, using or selling his proprietary subject matter. It is a legal characterization and treatment of trade-related biotechnological processes and products. So, IPR, intellectual property rights, are the rights given to the person who over the creations of their mind. They usually give the creator, the inventor, an exclusive right over the use of his or her creations for a certain period of time. So that's called IPR, intellectual property rights. So intellectual property rights includes the following things. First one is patent for a process, product and apparatus having industrial applications. Next, copyright. What is that? Designs, books, charts, films, advertisements. And what do you mean by trade secrets? Literary works, artistic work, software, photography. Trademarks, words, signs. Words and signs. Some symbols, signs, these all are comes under in the listed out the IPR, intellectual property rights. Purpose of patent, already we know that to encourage, that is a significance. Why a government have to give a patent for an inventor? To encourage them and to give them rights, and so that they will make more quality and more improvements. The industries can give more investments for the researchers, and for the patent they can give more developments can become in developing countries. Purpose of patent. Patents are granted in order to motivate, to encourage inventors to continue their efforts to develop innovations, new inventions. This ensures that ultimately better products and processes are found to improve the quality of human life. Patents give a legal monopoly to the patentee so that he can drive monetary benefits. He can drive a monetary benefit for his inventions. So he will go on improving his invention when he gets a monetary benefit, encouragement, a boosting for an inventor. Just we'll take an example for COVID-19. At present, Ministry of Ayush means Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha and herbal products, herbal treatments, starts clinical trials for ashwagandha and the following Ayurvedic herbs for coronavirus treatment. Here is what you need to know. Once you identify, then we can apply for patent. So these are some of the examples and researches are going on now, and there are some benefits are there for increasing the immune power to resist our body for the coronavirus, like ashwagandha. You can see that in the picture. Guduchi, Eshti Madhu, Adimadhuram, Eshti Madhu, ginseng, elderberry, sage, pipili, turmeric, ginger, chamomile, chinacea, ginkgo biloba, St. John's wort, oregano, basil, valerian, garlic. These all are some of the examples. Farmer's right. What do you mean by farmer's right? This is the right given to farmers for the improvement, conservation and making available of plant genetic resources, PGR, so that farmers need not go to the breeder every time to give the rights for the farmers. The protection of the plant variety and the Farmers' Right Act 2001, PVP, that means PPV, that means for the protective plant variety, Farmers' Right Act, is an act of the Parliament of India that was enacted to provide, or that has been initiated to provide for the establishment of an effective system for protective or protection of plant varieties. The rights of the farmers and plant breeders are to encourage the development and cultivation of new variety of plants. The Protection of Plant Variety and Farmers' Right Act 2001 was intact to grant intellectual property right IPR to plant breeders, researchers and farmers who have developed any new or extinct plant variety. So this is an act which is passed in the parliament, which gives an encouragement, which gives an support, and which gives a right for the farmers, which gives for them to stay in a place, not to go for another person for the purchase of the plant variety or plant seeds, or for breeders no need to go for any place. They can have the rights to keep with them. They will be recognized and they will be provided with monetary benefits. So plant breeder rights, that's what that law says. It is also known as plant variety rights, PVR. They are the rights granted to the breeders of a new variety of plant that give the breeders exclusive control over the propagating material, which includes seeds, cutting, divisions, tissue culture and harvesting materials such as cut flowers, fruit, foliage of a new variety for a number of years. With these rights, the breeders can choose to become the exclusive marketer of the variety, and prior authorization of the breeder is required to use that particular variety. The plant breeder right is granted by International Union for the Protection of New Variety of Plants, UPOV. That means that is protective. How they are having an organization, you can see the organization which is protection of a new variety of plant. There is Union for the Protection of New Variety of Plant. PVR can also be called as PBR, and there is one union, UPOV. And bioprospecting. Bioprospecting or biodiversity. Prospecting is the systemic search for biochemical and genetic information in nature in order to develop commercially valuable products for the pharmaceutical, agricultural, cosmetics and other applications. Bioprospecting is the process of discovery and commercialization of new product based on biological resources. The search of plant and animal species from which medicinal drugs and other animal species from which medicinal drugs and other commercial valuable compounds can be obtained. So especially the search of plants and animal species from which a medicinal drugs and other commercial valuable compounds can be obtained. Plants and animals. The investigation of living things to see how they can be commercially useful to the human beings. So in plants and animals, they can do the research and it can be identified how this can be utilized, this can be useful for human beings. That is prospecting, prosperous prospecting for the human being. Bioprospecting, developing or commercially valuable products for pharmaceutically or agriculturally, cosmetics from the plants and also from the animals or from the nature. Bioprospecting is utilizing the knowledge of natural resources such that it benefits the society as well as individual. Bioprospecting, you can see the picture, research, product, it comes income and that is conservation, bioprospecting, research, products, income, conservation. So it's a continuous process. It's an interlinked process. It gives income. It gives monetary benefits. So bioprospecting, even it gives benefits to the human being by means of various research, and what can be identified by means of giving rights, giving the patent for the particular inventor. Understand? And biopiracy, you have to know about what is biopiracy. The term biopiracy was coined by Pat Mooney. Pat Mooney is a man, is a scientist, you can see the picture of Pat Mooney, who described a practice in which he has told indigenous knowledge of nature, orienting with indigenous people, lay people who is having in that particular area or particular in the region of indigenous people, is using by others from profit without authorization or compensation to the indigenous people themselves. See, there will be some indigenous people, there will be many traditional practitioners, there will be very old traditional history for certain medicines which they might have used, but you can see certain companies might have taken away without giving any benefit to the person who have identified and is using in the local area. They might have gone for the research and they might have applied for patent. That was, he was telling, biopiracy. You have to identify who is the responsible. You have to give the patent for him. You have to pay them. That is what Pat Mooney have identified and he mentioned. For example, when bioprospector draws an indigenous knowledge of medicinal plant, which is later patented by medical companies without recognizing the first person. Fact that the knowledge is not new, already you have done or invented by a patentee, like for turmeric, how India, and depriving the indigenous community to the rights to commercial exploitation of the technology that they themselves have developed. So under US patent law, Any person who invents or discovers any new or useful process, machine, manufacture or composition of matter or any new and useful improvement is eligible to obtain a patent. Understand? Eligible to obtain a patent. In general, 4 requirements have to be satisfied to quantify for patent, which are as follows. 1. The subject matter must be patentable. Number 2, the invention must be novel. Number 3, the invention must have same utility or some utility, not same utility, some utility, the spelling mistake, some utility, not same utility, there is no same, some utility for human being or usefulness, not same, some, please spelling mistake or typing error. The invention must not be devious. What do you mean by devious? Devious means not any type of cunning or any type of hiding or something which is not something which is hiding or something which is illegal. These type of things cannot be taken consideration for patent application. So in short form, again I have given the biopiracy one small, I have added the previous slide into a small thing which is repeated, is commercially, what is that? Utilizing the knowledge of natural resource obtained from another person and not passing it benefits to him, to the person from which the knowledge was obtained, without giving any benefit from the knowledge which we have obtained from the indigenous person and which we are using, and if we are going for patenting, it is objected. That is called biopiracy. Biopiracy means utilizing the other indigenous person already he has identified, and you are taking his rights and applying for the patent. That is what biopiracy. Understand? And patent aspects for natural products. What are the patent aspects of natural products? Patentable natural products. The following are the list of natural products which can be patentable. Number 1, novel isolation process of natural products from its surroundings. Example, an Indian patent for process of isolation of azadirachtin from the seeds of neem plant. Characterization, isolation and characterization of new product either by its structure, chemical structure, or by other physical parameters is also patentable natural products. A new application of isolated products provided unless such knowledge or invention do not exist anywhere. Example, a Japanese patent for the same turmeric. Japanese, what they did, specifically they have identified what is the action of turmeric against of a fungal. You see that? Antifungal activity, they have given patent for Japanese. That's what we have not identified, they identified the specific. So, patent for the use of turmeric as a stabilizer for an antifungal agent. One antifungal agent, and turmeric, when it is used, it stabilizes its activity. So they have given patent for that. Already India have patent for turmeric for antibacterial activity. That's what we fought with US and we took back. So invention and novelist is, for example, products like biopesticides also. Invention and novelties like example of biopesticides are always you can apply for patent. Patenting in relation to biotechnology, with gene and biotechnology, and patenting for biological matters, for example microorganism like E. coli, in which human genes are introduced for the production of human insulin and human growth hormone, human tissues, plasmogen activators, and patent. This is about the genetic engineering. When you go for genetic engineering and study production of insulin from microorganism like E. coli, production of growth hormone from microorganism, production of human tissues, production of plasmogen activators, these all can be developed by means of biotechnology development, and patent can be applied. So patentable microbial invention include the following: processed product, method of producing new organisms, reducing pathogenicity, increasing biological activity, invention of new organism and other composition, and transgenic plants. Plants can be altered genetically to obtain transgenic plants of desired characters. Example, herbicide resistant cotton plant, insecticidal resistant tobacco plant. So herbicide resistant cotton plant itself they can develop, insecticidal resistant tobacco plant they can develop. Such techniques are patentable. Plant itself they have the quality to resist the pesticide, to resist the pesticide. They can grow themselves without any pesticide is not needed. They will not allow the pests to come and act on them. Patenting of secondary metabolites by cell culture, which includes sophisticated specific method, can be patented. For example, production of Taxol, anti-cancer drug Taxol, you might have studied in your 5th semester. By cell culturing from the tax species, we can develop even vincristin, vinblastin, which is very less quantity available in the, you can see it is a very less quantity which is available in Vinca roseaceae. We might have seen that we are mostly, for example, we used to take more, I think, more quantity of I hope more quantity of leaf is needed for very minimum of constituents to be get isolated. So in that case you can go for development of common development of, you can see, for use of what we can say, we can develop our own tissue culture to develop this vincristin and vinblastin by means of a small tissue which has been taken from Vinca roseaceae. And so, and next we can go for a non-patentable natural products. What are they? Plant grown in wild, plants adapted for cultivations, hybrids or other cultural varieties which have been tried for particular use. Cannot be go for patentable. And procedure for obtaining patent, it includes the following steps: filling an application, examination of application, opposition claim for a patent and granting of patent and sealing. And filling an application for patent. A patent application can be made on prescribed application form. This can be obtained from patent office. Title applicant have to furnish the following information: title, name, and not title applicant, the applicant have to. The applicant have to, not the title, because title is coming in the applicant. I just read it is not title, it is the applicant. Title, name, address and nationality of inventor, and specification given, the detailed invention, claims, definition and scope of invention. Examination of application. The patent office, in the patent officer's office, examine the patent application with respect of usefulness, what is its specific useful application, objectives, nature of claim, and whether the patent, the patent have been filled earlier or it has done earlier. That have to be identified. The opposition of any claim of patent, a 3-month time is given for any application before granting and sealing the patent. Granting and sealing of patent, in case of number of opposition, they will give, somebody is coming and telling that is we have the rights or something, number of opposition or clearly satisfaction of all the objections by the applicant, the patent is granted. If suppose all the objections have been cleared by the particular person, the patent is granted by the patent office and published in the official gazette. A patent can be kept alive by paying an annual fee within date which increases the age of the patent. Year of the patent can be increased. It can be renewed after its expiry. Advantage of patenting. A patent gives the right to stop other from copying, manufacturing, selling or importing an intervention without the permission of the inventor. A protection is provided for a predetermined period, keeping the competitors at bay. That means at bay means it's difficulty for them. So it's protect. The competitors cannot use them. And the inventor has the authority to license his invention to others to use or sell it. So now we will see the case study of the curcum in the next class. Thank you. The next class we will continue the same case study of curcum, how you will have the advantage, we will have the discussion what we discussed about the patent, how the US was claiming for turmeric and turmeric cucumber langa is our indigenous plant have been given back to us and they removed who have been claiming for the patent. And it is Indians, South Indians, indigenous medicine, indigenous product. So thank you. We will see in the next class.